Okay, welcome guys. It's Sports Coffee, the weekly chat. Today, I'd like to introduce a product today, or a product stroke project, something slightly different to what we normally chat about. It's called Teqball, and it's a project over in Northern Ireland. So I've got Mark. Mark, how are you?
How are you doing, Neil? I'm not too bad, thanks.
Yeah, really good. So if you could give us an idea of what Teqball is, just for people who've not potentially heard of it or may have heard of the terms but not actually understand what it's all about.
Yeah, no worries. So I suppose essentially it's almost table tennis or ping pong for football. It's on a 3-meter curved table. You can play 1v1 games, you can play 2v2 games, and even at that you can have 2v2 games with sort of floaters on either side. So a game can incorporate up to 6 people, and then again, with regards to scoring and point scoring, you can that's sort of at your own discretion as what you want to play to, or what kind of rules you want to incorporate into it.
So when did you start the project, or start thinking about maybe doing this project?
It would have been just before Christmas time there. So myself and 2 other lads that I'm into it with. Samuel McIlveen and JB Dobbin, they would have been ex-teammates of mine that I would have played football with. So obviously still very friendly with them and keep contact. And we, in the off season, or if we didn't have a game, we would normally have met up with other groups of friends and rented out a 5-a-side court, or 7-a-side, and had a game. And obviously with the restrictions that we've had from the COVID-19 pandemic, that wasn't there for us to do. So we looked at other ways that we could have a bit of crack with staying within the guidelines. So Samuel actually suggested having a go at this Teqball. We had seen the professional clubs in England, Spurs and Manchester City, and that were playing it, and we just thought it might be something that would keep us occupied and give us our football fix during the lockdown. So between the 3 of us, we went and we bought ourselves a table, and eventually we managed to get it built. Took quite a few hours and quite a few arguments, but we managed to get it built. And then we got a few games and amongst ourselves, and then some of the lads that were in a WhatsApp group with, who we would have had a travel group going to football to organise lifts and stuff, and some of those lads got involved, and we would have played a lot of 2v2 games, and we would have had maybe 6 people there, and the winning partnership staying on, and built up a lot of interest amongst ourselves. But more importantly, we got loads of crack out of it, and it was really, really good fun. And we then thought, maybe this is a runner, and this is something that people locally within Antrim and further afield in Northern Ireland that would maybe have an interest in it. And we've started up a little Facebook page and Twitter and Instagram, and we've had really, really good feedback on it, and people asking, when could we get a game? And we've had a few Irish League clubs contacting us, and a few would you say amateur league teams locally. The local team here in Antrim, Chimney Corner, have contacted us, and then obviously, as previously mentioned, those couple of Irish League teams. So there's a good variation and interest.
Sure. So is there something like you're gonna try and put a structure in once all the guidelines and the restrictions are away? Are you going to put like a league together, or tournaments, or what your thoughts?
So we've looked. Yeah, that's exactly what we've looked at. So obviously, to begin with, we would like to have some kind of that league or tournament. So that's kind of what we're talking about at the moment. Do we have it every Monday night, say in a set venue in Antrim, or do we do it monthly and do almost like a tournament where you can come either individually or come with a partner and play a pairs competition or a singles competition? So again, we'll see where we're going to go with that. But the plan is just to get it out there and get as many people playing it, and as much as getting a bit of fun and a bit of crack out of it, we want to try and help young people's games, and even not so young people's games, that they can sort of improve that touch and get more touches of football.
So what obviously with the technique side, when do you think is an ideal age to start this? So if you were looking as a parent, you saw this today, and you're thinking that'd be quite good for my son or daughter.
Yeah.
What kind of age do
So,
you think the tables could manage? You know, for somebody maybe 10 or 11-year-old, or is that too young? Or
so we again, we've had that same conversation already, and we've talked about the possibility of Samuel would be a highly regarded youth coach in the north here, and he sort of knows the levels of those age groups and what they're playing at. So we're kind of thinking sort of from under 12 up possibly, and even those children below that under 12 level, that there are changes that we could make or people could make to maybe serving the ball over the net, or instead of bouncing once on your side, you can maybe let it bounce 2 or 3 times, or I suppose it just depends, and it depends the level that the individual is at. But there's definitely room there to adapt the rules of the game for everyone, I think.
yeah, so it would be good, obviously, maybe if you were to talk to schools about it, that obviously you're going to have a mixed ability class, aren't you? So it's to keep everybody engaged, like any sport, isn't it? To keep them engaged, you need to sort of have adaptable rules. People maybe who've got disabilities that could, but are still able to, use a technique for kicking the ball or using a technique. So no, that sounds really good and a really positive slant out of something that's obviously been very restrictive when it comes to footballing terms. I had a quick bit of research, obviously, for you to come on, and I see there's 3 or 4 different sort of style tables that Teqball do. Is the light table, is that literally because it's a lighter frame, or is it something? Do you know? Is that?
And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure. And I know one's the light table is significantly cheaper than the. I think it's like an orangey black table, maybe. From what I gather, and looking at it, the light seems to be almost one that you can move about a lot easier, and the more expensive one seems to be one that, say if you had a set venue and you weren't planning on moving it too often, or moving it on a regular basis. That's the only difference I can really see on them, just from looking. Obviously I haven't seen in person the more expensive one, but just from the different models that seem to be online, I'm assuming that one's more for travel and taking about the place, and the other one is sort of at a set venue.
Yeah. So the table that you have, is it something that you can take to different venues, or is it quite difficult to move around?
No, I'd say it's not too bad to move. So obviously we have access there to a trailer.
Okay.
Where we can transfer the table to different venues and things like that. Obviously, we haven't had the opportunity to do that at the moment with the current restrictions. But yeah, that would be the plan, that we can take it to sort of certain venues in Northern Ireland and host tournaments and host competitions and leagues, whatever it is that we're planning on doing.
So do you have any plans to get any partners on board, just to obviously get it out there? Or so I don't know if the Irish FA are interested in getting involved, or like you said, that a couple of the Irish league clubs, in partnership with them to get it out there for you guys in the future. Yeah,
well, as I say there, my current club, Newry City, we're currently in Championship 1 at the moment. I'm speaking to the manager. He says he would be interested in having it down for a day and letting the lads sort of incorporate it into our warm up, and spoke to the Cliftonville manager about it, and we've had some sort of contact with Glentoran there recently. So yeah, look, there's I suppose there's opportunities for partnerships and things like that. We've been in contact with the Belfast Cup, the folks who run the Belfast Cup, and they've sort of asked us to come in for the week of the competition, potentially the week leading up to it as well, where we would hold individual competitions, or I know there's a couple of teams in England, I think Leeds and Sheffield United maybe were in it last year, and potentially in it again this year, and they said they would like to have a couple of players from each team to come and represent each club in almost like a Teqball competition sort of thing. So
Yeah.
again, we're at the early stages of that, but there's been quite a few people actually have contacted us, and that's before we've kind of made any real videos or any examples of how the game works, you know.
No, definitely. So when does the Belfast Cup normally take place, and what age groups take part in that?
I'm pretty sure, and I just had a phone call with the fella last week. I think it's from the 10th to the 14th of August. And it's, I don't know this exact age group, but I know it's a youth tournament, so it's probably somewhere between under 13, under 16, under 17 competition.
Okay. No, it just sounds a perfect opportunity to, audience-wise, for you guys to showcase, what you're trying to do, especially in a tournament if it's got teams from England coming over as well, professional clubs coming over as well, which would be open a lot of doors potentially. So that's really good. So you say in Antrim, which is obviously in Northern Ireland, whereabouts would you host your potential tournaments that you look to do if people are thinking, oh, what we're going to do over the summer if there's the lockdowns away and we can do some is it outdoor or indoor, are you thinking?
Well, we're hoping, we don't know here with the weather in Ireland now, because it's that temperamental in the summertime. But we'd like to play it. We'd like to play it outdoors. We've looked at a couple of venues here, a couple of football pitches. So the local team in Antrim, I think they're Premier Intermediate, Timney Corner, which would have been one of my old clubs. We've already spoke to the first team manager, Stevie Hughes, there, and he said, we'd be interested in having tournaments there for their first team and youth players to access, but maybe Antrim as a whole, and then the school, the high school around the corner is called Park Hall Integrated, and we're looking at the possibility of being able to use their school sports hall maybe one evening a week, or maybe the tennis courts at the back of the school, where again we would be able to host a tournament or a league setting,
Well, you could potentially do, I don't know what funding's like in Northern Ireland, but you could potentially do like a community event, couldn't you? Where you could you could showcase, say, your Chimney Corner players, and then have locals who wanted to be involved to be part of that tournament as well, couldn't you? And people could potentially travel in around Northern Ireland to so there's huge. It sounds, and my background is sports development, so it's got me thinking of lots of different things that you could link into, and lots of sponsorship opportunities I'm sure would be about if you put it to the right people. And it sounds like you've got a lot of connections, obviously, with your footballing side, that you could host it across the summer. You could go to Glentyre, you could go to Cliftonville, you could go to your current club, Newry, you could go to Chimney Corner, and you could literally do a bit of a road trip with it, and get people to sign up, for minimal fee or for free, whatever way you guys choose, just to get it out there, and get out on the road again, where you obviously haven't had the opportunity to be able to do that. So are they easy to access to buy? You said you bought one off the internet. Was it just a quick Google, this is where it is, or are there certain providers which do Teqball, which are more preferred, so to speak?
No, it was, I mean, I don't know with regards to which is best way to order it. We just literally went online and typed in Teqball, and the whatever the first offer or whatever the first option came up on Google search. We clicked on it. There was an option, to add one to your basket, and then it was literally a case of checking out. Now the difficult part was whenever it arrived, and it was a ton weight, and we had to then obviously assemble it. But other than that, it was pretty straightforward.
So it's a bit of an IKEA job, was it? You had to put it up.
It was times 10. Yeah.
I see on your social media that you started to do a bit of merchandise. And how's that going?
Yeah, it's going well. It started with got myself and the other two lads, we got ourselves a coffee mug made, just with obviously the Teqball logo on it, and sorry, the Teqball NI logo on it, and we just had that and put it on the Instagram page and the Facebook page as a bit of fun. And then a couple of my closer mates would have messaged me and said, "Oh, give us one of them." But then we looked at Samuel sort of sorted out the half zips, because with his youth team that he coaches with, he would have a fella who looks after his sort of their gear and training gear and things like that. So he got in contact, and the fella drew up an example of a quarter zip that he could do for us. So again, we got those. We thought it would look a little bit better for kind of having our own club, and sort of the same sort of way, where a couple of friends and a couple of people who follow the page have messaged and said that they would like to get one. So it's worked out all right.
No, definitely. And I saw, when I was doing the research earlier, I saw that Teqball itself as an ambassador of Ronald Koeman. So is it something that you guys are going to look to try and get an ambassador in Northern Ireland to try and sort of again help your promotion?
That's not something that I've thought about at all. But now that you've mentioned that, it would definitely be something that we could look into.
No, I think it's just again, it's definitely a profile raiser. Plus, there's lots of willing. I've spoken to 2 or 3 Northern Irish ex-players, and they always seem to be very willing to help the community. So I wouldn't be surprised if you could get, even a current player who's maybe tried it, or you can get them to do a video or something, to help you guys, get it across there. So I saw there was a World Cup, and I don't know if you know anything about the World Cup. There was a Teqball World Cup. I watched a quick video on. I couldn't tell which countries were which, but I know they were saying the next Teqball World Cup is in France. Whether that has passed or not, I'm not sure, due to the restrictions.
Right.
Is that something that you guys would look to try and get involved in? Obviously, if you're to represent.
Do you mean get involved in?
As in to represent your country to try and get into that.
Well, I could safely say, having played it now a good few times, I can safely say myself and the 2 lads would not be representing Teqball. We wouldn't be representing Teqball NI. But listen, if we could get a couple of players who have got better touches than ourselves, then definitely would be interested in it. But that's probably.
See if any of the Tottenham or Man City players who qualify as grandparents of Northern Ireland or something.
100%. Any volunteers, please give us a shout, and we'd be happy to talk.
That's brilliant. So you mentioned earlier the platforms you're using. So you're using Twitter, obviously, because it's how we got in contact with. You have a Facebook page and you have Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I'd like you to do, if you could after this today, Mark, if you send them over to me, and then when I put this back onto our YouTube channel, then I'll obviously add those handles onto it, so then people can contact you directly, or it'll be an easier way to find you. Sometimes it's not as easy with the handles if they're not exactly what it says on the tin as such. We're scheduling to put this on for Saturday the 27th of March. So that'll go on to the Sports Coffee Twitter account and Facebook, and it's updated every day. I'll try and keep it updated to keep it fresh and try and get more and more people involved in it. So I'd like to thank you for your time and explaining your project, and all the best for going forward. And to be honest, if there's anything we can do at Sports Coffee to promote it, and if you want to just put us in your posts on Facebook and Twitter, then we'll retweet and like for you.
That's brilliant, Neil. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
And all the best for the future. And if anything comes big out of it, then come on and shout about it. Quite happy to have you back on. So that was our sports project and project chat with Mark Kelly from Teqball Northern Ireland. As we said, Saturday the 27th of March will be the day when we're going to release it on our Sports Coffee YouTube channel. I'd like to thank our sponsors, InsureWise, who have been supporting our chats since the start of the project. So we'll hope to hear and hope you can listen next time we're on. Thank you.